Hello everyone, welcome back. Cheap Comic Collector. This is episode number 53, I believe. Today we're going to be looking at some 3 books that I've read recently, going through those. Don't forget about the giveaway show coming up in a few days, August 9th, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Go ahead and subscribe. Email me your address to register for the giveaways, and you are guaranteed a free comic book just for subscribing. It's free. I don't charge shipping. You're just going to get it in the mail. It's cool. It's only eligible for United States residents, unfortunately. Just costs too much to send a single book or whatever to Canada or overseas. So, sorry about that. If we'd stop hiring these idiot politicians, maybe we'd all have cheaper shipping. But anyway. Today we're going to be going through these books. We got Justice Inc. number 1, Life with Archie number 184, and The Hulk Who Shot Bruce Banner number 1. So we're going to get started with those. Justice Inc. was an interesting book. I enjoyed it more than I thought it would. It's the first DC appearance of the old pulp hero, the Avenger. I guess they didn't call it the Avenger, probably because of Marvel's Avengers series. And it was a fun. It's got this nice cover here by Joe Kubert. Got the traditional Batman hostess ad for Twinkies. And so this is an adaptation of the novel by Kenneth Robson's novel, but I believe I read that was a pen name. It was a house name by the old Street and Smith company that used to publish these kind of stories for the pulps, and of course they also did comic books early on. So the Avenger actually first appeared back, I think, in the 40s in Shadow Comics by Street and Smith. But anyway. This is his DC appearance, and I think this series went on for like 5 issues, and this is kind of his origin story. His wife and kid appear to be killed. I don't know if that's what actually happened or not. It's certainly, for the purposes of this story, that's what happened, but it doesn't actually show it. The emphasis is that they got thrown out of an airplane by some crooks, and he goes through a transformation process where he can morph his facial features for disguise, so he can disguise himself as an old man just by kind of having a putty face. And then wanted to show you this ad real quick. This was an interesting ad, advertising the first issues of Justice Inc., The Joker, Claw, and a series I'd never heard of before, Ghost Castle. It's actually called Tales of Ghost Castle. I looked it up. It only lasted for 3 issues, and I guess that's why I've never heard of it. But I looked it up because I thought maybe they never even had published it, but it did. It was around for 3 issues. So anyway, the Avenger basically, disguises himself as an old man with his putty face, and then he goes undercover to capture the people who, to kill the people who murdered his wife and child, and stopped from killing him at the last minute by this guy who is a friend. And then they go on to apparently form Justice Inc. I only have this first issue, but it was a good read. It was adapted by Denny O'Neil and L. McWilliams. Excuse me, I got a summer cold. Those are the worst. And anyway, it was a good issue. I enjoyed it. It was fun. And speaking of fun, we have Life with Archie number 184, gorilla cover. Learning the ways of the comic book sale from DC, putting an ape on the cover. And like I said, the Life with Archie series went through a period where it was very much adventure stories. The stories in here are kind of mixed. They're still adventure stories, but they're played for comic effect rather than being just an outright adventure story, which is what I remember them being. So this may have been a transition issue where they were transitioning back to more comic stories, or before they went to straight out adventure stories. I'm not sure. But the first story has Jughead taking the place of a rich prince in another country. There's a filler of the very politically incorrect Fat Charlie of Little Jinx fame. And there is a coupon for 10 cents off Icy. And then the next story has Veronica being a spoiled brat, running away from home. Actually, this is the continuation still of the Jughead story. This is the Veronica story, where she, and they have the Archie Club news with the letters from the readers and all that stuff. So yeah, Veronica runs away from home because she's a spoiled brat, and this guy gets her a job, but is basically kidnapping her without her realizing it. And she, very out of character, willingly dresses up as a clown, and so on and so forth. I won't give away the details. I try not to do that, but very much typical Archie stuff. And then this ad towards the back was kind of interesting too. Best of Old Time Radio, but it's on vinyl records, and I thought that was kind of funny. This was from 1977, so it was considered old time radio in 1977, but it was on vinyl records, and of course now vinyl records are pretty much considered old time things. So interesting, the passage of time. And then we have Hulk #1, and I read these other two issues because I wanted a little break from the Hulk, because as you've seen in previous episodes, I've been reading the Hulk miniseries and stuff, but then I went this because it was on top, and it was Hulk #1, Who Shot Bruce Banner. And I was happy to see it was by Mark Waid, because he always does a good job of writing. And so in this issue, basically Bruce Banner's been shot. This guy is kidnapped by what appears to be S.H.I.E.L.D. to operate on him, but it's all a plot to harvest organs and DNA from the Hulk, so they can create other Hulks, basically. So the doctor knew Bruce Banner way back when. He's wondering if he should kill him on the operating table or not, and then the decision's kind of taken out of his hands by somebody else, and he turns back into the Hulk, but he's brain damaged from the bullets, so he ends up being a dumb Bruce Banner. And it was very well written, very well drawn. Art, pencils by Mark Bagley, inks by Andrew Hennessy. Like I said, written by Mark Waid. Very, very, very entertaining issue. Interesting take on the Hulk. A lot of emphasis on, instead of being on the Hulk, being on what different characters think about him. Ties into modern times because Agent Coulson with S.H.I.E.L.D. is there, and Maria Hill. And anyway, it goes on from there. So I'm looking forward to reading the rest of this series. I actually have this complete series. I think it goes up to issue number 16. So all three, I basically recommend all three of these. Life with Archie wasn't quite what I expected, because I thought the stories would be more adventure than what they were. But it was a fun read. And Justice, I was impressed by when I didn't expect to be. And Hulk #1, satisfied. Very satisfying read. I had high hopes when I saw it was written by Mark Waid, and it did not disappoint. So, good stuff. Pick them up if you can. And I will see you next time. Have a good one, guys. Don't forget, giveaway show coming up in a couple days. Be there or be square. See you then.